Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stello Stadium in Nashua as the sun sets over the Nashua River. We're watching two fine-looking boys lacrosse teams warm up on the pitch here on Mata Field at Stello Stadium. John Collins along with Tom King. Bishop Guertin High School boys lacrosse team getting set to host Pinkerton Academy, and this could be quite the clash tonight, Tom.
Yeah, it could be quite the clash, John. I don't know if it's going to be the same clash as we've had in past years. This Pinkerton team is a good team, but just talking with Brian O'Reilly, the former coach, this will be the first time, John, since that I've ever seen a Pinkerton lacrosse game that Brian O'Reilly hasn't been the head coach, as he stepped away from the lacrosse job to focus on athletic director duties. But he's, this Pinkerton team, this Guertin team, and maybe Exeter, top three in the state. But right now, Guertin is considered to be the favorite.
Guertin, always the power in lacrosse, it seems, since the years that we've been doing it. They emphasize the sport quite a bit at the school. A lot of kids love to play it.
Well,
good turnout.
I remember the days when it was just born at BG.
Really?
And yeah, exactly. And it was, they did a great job to keep it going and play it. And more and more, you saw more players, more kids going to lacrosse. You talk to a football player and say, do a feature on a football kid, and say, okay, where are you going to college? You going to play in college? He goes, well, I'm going to so-and-so, but I'm going to play lacrosse. And you just kept hearing that over and over again. And that was the sport. And I believe Tony Johnson brought Chris Cameron in to run the show. Chris Cameron is a professional lacrosse guy. I mean, he runs the New Hampshire Tomahawks. That's his business. That's the off-season. That's the AAU version of lacrosse. And if you're going to be a good player, you're going to play at that level in the off-season. And Bishop Guertin has plenty of kids who do that. They've got plenty of college commits, I'm sure. And this is the way the sport has gone. It's a tough sport for public schools, but some schools are able to do it. Nashua South has managed to be very competitive over the years. North has had on and off, but they need some coaching consistency because they've had several new coaches over the years. But Exeter obviously has put together a good program. Souhegan has always had a good program. But what Guertin has done and Pinkerton have done is raise the level of the sport and the college opportunities, and everybody is trying to reach that. And it's not an easy thing to do. Don't forget, Pinkerton is the largest school in the state, and Guertin has its pick of whoever athletes they want if they want to come to Guertin. So it's a little different.
Tom, you've cautioned me not to go by the NHIAA website. Ever since this pandemic happened, it's kind of been off kilter. But I looked at it today. I couldn't help it. I saw 3 scores for Pinkerton and only 1 game for BG. Is that not correct?
I'm not sure, John. I think Guertin may have played 1 or 2. I'm not positive.
Yeah, well, all it had was we're both undefeated is what this website has. And it had Pinkerton has played Salem twice and Bedford once, and they've beaten those 2 teams in 3 games by a total of 46-9. So that's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive. But Guertin's win, I believe, was like 17-3. I think they played London.
That's about right.
I believe they played Londonderry twice.
It said they did play them twice because it said they beat them 18-2.
I believe they played them twice.
Okay.
But this is, if you're looking at Pinkerton, Hunter Druin, by far their best player. Bishop Guertin, you could just, sort them out. I mean, Kylie is one of their better players. They've got a ton of them, a lot of depth. And I don't forget, John, and this is boys lacrosse now. More contact, because we've done girls, more contact. And certainly ground balls are going to be the key. Picking up ground balls, always the key in lacrosse. But check out that face-off circle. That is where you win the game. You need possession. And those draws are critical. And
we certainly saw that in the girls' games that we've done.
I'll tell you what, with the years that Pinkerton has beaten Guertin a couple of years in a row in the finals. And the way they did it was they controlled the draws. And that's how you do it. And you get possession, and you're able to, to make your moves. So
yeah, lacrosse more similar to hockey that way, in that they have face-offs in between the goals rather than just let the other team take possession. And unlike ice hockey, though, I think it is possible to get a really talented face-off guy that can win more than a majority of the draws.
There are players that just do that, and then they get off the field.
Yeah, that's how important it is.
It's critical because each possession takes time.
Sure.
In hockey, you could win a face-off and then lose the puck two seconds later,
Yeah.
So it's not really comparable. It really isn't.
No, it
Number
isn't.
2, Declan Wilkie.
And so they're introducing, I believe, these seniors are starting
Number
lineups
22,
here.
John Krikorian.
Yeah, they may be doing the seniors.
Number 33,
Starting lineups, our cameraman Tim O'Neill is on the top of it.
Yes, he is, because Tim O'Neill was facing that way, and I was facing this way.
Facing me. So, weather-wise, Tom, I'd say ideal for lacrosse, wouldn't you?
Well, it's ideal tonight. Now, we're going to do a game on Thursday with the girls. And it's going to be like we're going to go back into February again.
Really?
Yes, it's going to be.
I just dread looking at the forecast these days.
It is going to be, the high on the day is 45, a lot of wind, which means when the lights go down here, it's going to be a cold, not icy, but cold night,
Yeah.
So we will, I may even be inside for that one.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to come in at any time. I know you.
But that means I get closer to you, John. So that's part of the problem.
Setup, man.
That's
Tom.
part of the problem.
Yes, that's right. So we have the national anthem now, folks, here at Stellos. And we are ready to play lacrosse. 12-minute quarters in New Hampshire High School boys lacrosse.
And I will go down on the field for one of those 12-minute quarters, and I'll be back up probably sometime midway through the second.
Look forward to it, Tom King. So here we go. It's Pinkerton in red, and of course BG in their home whites with the green shorts. Pretty good sized rosters on both teams. We'll do our best to keep up with the numerals on the backs of these uniforms, which look pretty clear to me at this point. Easier to read than some of the color schemes that we often get here at Stellos. So a busy schedule, a slate of spring sports in the offing. The boys and girls lacrosse and boys baseball, as Tom mentioned, a game coming up on Friday. Love to do those at Holman Stadium. Hopefully the weather will recover from what Tom's forecast for Thursday was calling for a return of winter. And so I doubt they'll cancel the game unless it's extremely cold on Friday or, of course, raining. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet in the springtime to get these baseball games in. The first draw of the game is won by BG. A hard-fought draw, but the Cardinals on the attack to begin things here at Stellos. That was on the draw, number 20 for the Cardinals. And we'll have to see if Pinkerton can bounce back from losing the opening draw. But right now, BG taking their sweet time and setting up a shot in the Pinkerton zone. Number 20 is James Murphy, a junior for the Cardinals. Into the corner, BG's number 9, Nicholas McGovern. Shot, goal, and BG's on the board first. From the right side, it comes, and it looked like it was number 3 on the goal for Bishop Guertin. And a great setup and execution, and the Cardinals are on the board first. I believe that was Mr. Casey wearing number 3. Michael Kiley, K-I-E-L-Y. Michael Kiley on the goal for the Cardinals, number 3. Might have caught a piece of the post on the way in as he kind of heard it clang before it went into the netting. Another possible win for Bishop Guertin as players go climbing all over each other, but it is an infraction against the Cardinals in their eagerness to get to the loose ball. Foul goes against the host team, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals in white, wearing green shorts as well, against the red-clad Pinkerton Astros, and deep it goes behind the net now. There's an errant pass. BG with a chance for a loose ball, but it's quickly scooped up by the Astros. Number 5 is Kiyoshi Dustin. Kiyoshi Dustin is his full name. Number 5 lurking behind the net. Now circling out in front, trying to get a shot away. Hunter Drowan, who Tom named as an MVP candidate for this Pinkerton team, if not for the entire league, number 1. He'll get a lot of touches today as you see him near camera jogging into front of the goal. Pinkerton trying to tie it up. A shot on the move in the high slot taken by Riley Spellman, number 17. Had a lot on it as it went speeding past the right post. Difficult shot on the run as he was marked closely. Hunter Druin with a spin move off a pick. He's coming out in front, slings it way wide of the goal. We had a good look at that, and it was at least 3 feet, maybe 4 feet wide to the left on the shot attempt there. And a collision timeout taken by the Astros. A strategic timeout early. We played exactly 2 minutes of the opening quarter of 4 that will be played here at Stellos tonight. Battle of unbeaten teams. Pinkerton racking up wins twice against Salem, once against Bedford at least that we know of. As we mentioned, the website NHIAA not always updated fully. BG, meanwhile, coming off a win over Londonderry. And somebody will no doubt taste defeat tonight after this one at Stellos. But then there's a rematch just 2 evenings from now up in Derry, as the Astros will host BG on Thursday of this week. It is April 20th of 2021. And the goaltender for Guertin, I believe it is Nicholas Dahl, number 18, who will be charged with trying to stop some of these snipers for Pinkerton. A number of goal-scoring candidates. If you just look at their attackmen, Hunter Drowan, number 1, Mason Barboni, number 6, Liam Prescott, number 2, listed as the 3 attackmen, will no doubt be some of the players they'll be launching shots the way of the BG goaltender. Actually, it's number 38, not 18. That's Zachary Connerty, a sophomore in goal for the Cardinals. Zachary Connerty. Big boy, he fills that frame quite a bit, even without the ice hockey goalie padding that makes today's ice hockey goalies look nothing like the days of Jerry Cheevers back in the 70s for the Bruins. Lacrosse goaltenders do not have that same advantage. The big pads and the chest protectors and the span, the mask that the ice hockey goalies take up in net. It is just a helmet and gloves and bare-legged, these goaltenders for Lacrosse. Always amazes me, especially on cold days. They're trying to get their legs in the way of these bullets. And these lacrosse balls are no joke. Getting knocked to the turf, and a steal or a save is actually made by Connerty. He made that look so casual. That was a ripping shot from Riley Spellman, number 17, who enjoys going left to right. Good job of bodying the Pinkerton player off the ball, and a foul is called. Was it a timeout taken by Guertin? So a strategic timeout there. Great defensive work by Bishop Guertin's number 12, John Sullivan, who played a key role for Guertin last season. I remember saying John Sullivan's name quite a bit on defense for the BG lacrosse team. He's a senior now and got into a little bit of trouble with a loose ball near side there, and was able to use his body to shield off the attacker and scoop it up. Strategic timeout was called, and so it is now Guertin talking strategy. Both teams have taken a break in the action to size up their opponent and talk about it on the sidelines within the first 3 minutes of action. 8:54 remaining in the first quarter. On a beautiful mid to late April evening in Nashua. Sun has now set over the Nashua River, and it is the electrical light power that is allowing us to see these two fine teams doing battle here at Stellos. So the resumption of play, and now Bishop Guertin with possession as they advance it down the field. Gaining some ground far sideline around a couple of stick checks. Now the drop pass and to the top of the key, so to speak. Number 16 is Timothy Kiley. Michael Kiley scored the goal number 3, assuming the Kiley boys are brothers, as Michael is a 12th grader and Timothy sophomore. Sprinting to his right, 21 with the carry. Goal! 2-0. Alexander Dunsmore. Dunsmore with the goal, as he got into a great spot to launch. And as far as Pinkerton is concerned, that's a defensive breakdown to let Alex in that close for the game's second goal. So Michael Kiley and Alexander Dunsmore in the scoring column for the Cardinals. We've won a couple of draws here already. They're trying to keep their streak alive. And this time it is Guertin again. Loose ball, though, juggled a bit off the long stick. One of the forwards for Pinkerton was able to seize the ball. Here comes Hunter Drowan. He's going to try to end the scoreless streak immediately off the faceoff. They give it to their go-to guy, and Hunter Drowan did not disappoint as he bore in on the goaltender, basically unchecked, and flung a 12-6 shot, basically about hip high past the right side of Zach Connerty, as he watched Hunter Drowan just come face to face with him, almost unchecked. A great job of speed and ball control by the Pinkerton Astro star, Drowan. 2-1 is the score. And that goal coming just over 4 minutes into the 12-minute first quarter. Inside play for BG. Ooh, look at a chance to just launch on goal right there, but they passed up the opportunity for now as the teams mark each other. Behind the goal it goes. On the slow jog, Aiden Ahern, senior, number 7. He gets it way up top, very high slot, bearing in, shot, save is made. Good job going down to get it by the Pinkerton goaltender on a sizzling low shot by Michael Kiley, who was bidding for his second goal of the game. Scored the first one from the other side angle. The right side angle as we looked down on the pitch earlier. Now behind the goal. BG with that quick strike ability to get up front, and another save is made. Great job in net. Number 24 is Curtis Michaud. The goaltender for Pinkerton has been immense in the last minute, stopping two what should seem to be sure thing goals for BG in tight with these great shooters. Spin move in front, trying to get it there, but it's stolen cleanly by the BG long stick defenseman, Tony Samiotis, number 31, somehow stealing that way, and he takes it 50 yards into BG territory. Really well done by the Pinkerton defense right there, as BG was going for a third bite of the apple in that possession and just didn't get the shot away because of Samiotis' fine play. Up top it comes now. Number 17 is Riley Spellman. Spellman's had a couple of nice scoring opportunities by running from the high slot center to his right and letting it fly. Obviously that's something he practices a lot. Right now his teammates setting up a shot. Joey Gallo running down the lane, hash marks right side, but he is bodied away from the goal. With his back to the net now, Mason Barboni, one of the three attackers listed on the Pinkerton roster, takes it wide. He hands it off as Pinkerton makes some progress. Ball's knocked loose. Who's got it? That was Jackson Morissette, number 15, who had it, but it was knocked out of his stick by a BG defender, and they're taking it down the field now on the far sideline. These two teams are pretty well matched right now. 2-1 score. BG's on top. They had a 2-0 lead, and then it was a Hunter Drouin. One assist, took it from the draw at center and ran down the right hash and scored the only goal for Pinkerton so far. Their chances have been rather limited. BG's done a great job winning draws here in the first quarter, leading to their 2-1 lead. The spin move and heavy checking there though on the BG attacker. It was number 22 who was in heavy traffic, with your Doug Flutie numerals, if you will, number 22. A flag flies down on the field, and we're going to have a whistle. May have a player going to the penalty box. And it is going to be number 2. Let's see if BG looks shorthanded here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up front. And Pinkerton 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perhaps it's Pinkerton that's shorthanded. So this could be, in effect, a power play for the BG offense. I count 5 defenders in front of the goalie and 6 attackers for the Cardinals as they circled the ball around the perimeter of the shot, and another. Well, I don't know if he got a piece of it. I think he did. Actually, the goaltender congratulating one of his defenders out in front after that shot was deflected off to the side. BG, though, not letting up the pressure here with 4 minutes remaining first quarter, trying to add to their 2-1 lead. In tight, shot went wide to the left. It was a great opportunity for number 9, Nicholas McGovern, the senior, was, it looked like less than 5 yards away from the goal when he let that fly. Pass into the center high slot, ends up on the turf. BG tries to scoop it up, and one of the players who had his head down trying to scoop that ball up got leveled. Number 11 for Guertin, taking the brunt of that. Sometimes I cannot find a matching numeral on the roster that we were given. 11 is one of those, unfortunately. Trying to give as many names as we can per touch. Up top it comes. In tight. Oh, it looked like an opportunity there for Michael Kiley to score his second goal perhaps, but don't know if he felt like he didn't have firm possession. Inside of his netting. Shot and a ripper, and he's knocked to the turf right after. A flag will fly. Number 45. What a shot. That would have to be the highest velocity of the game and the most accurate shot that we have seen so far in the game. And it drew a penalty right after as he got decked for his trouble as he let it go. I have a 44 on the roster. I do not see a 45. Unfortunately, I wanted to give full credit there. But 46 is freshman William Murphy. 47 will be Matthew Piker, the senior, but no number 45 is listed. And that is your third goal of the game. And because of that penalty, it's immediate possession, no face-off, no draw taken. That is a punishing consequence for Pinkerton for decking the ball carrier after he let go of the shot. Heavy traffic in front. Of course, as a defender, you don't want to give away any easy shots, but once the shot is taken, it's just seen as sour grapes to hit somebody when they're basically defenseless on the follow-through. And it was a wonderful strike by the Cardinals to put them up 3-1 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. BG seemingly on the attack for most of that. That Hunter Druin goal was just an eye blink. They won the draw at the midfield. Hunter took the face. A goal, number 4, high middle slot. Number 3, Michael Kiley has his second goal of the game, and it is a 4-1 lead now for the Cardinals, who are looking strong, capitalizing on their many possessions and also that punishing hit that was flagged after the third goal, leading directly to the fourth goal by Kiley, his second of the game. So I got Kiley with 2, Alexander Dunsmore with 1. And BG wins yet another draw. Back on the attack they go with 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go. Cruising around in the opponent's end, John Sullivan firing, missing. Sullivan with the attempt to go around the world there and fire it from a tough angle. Top of your screen, right side as we look at the goal, and just trying to hit that elusive top of the net. Of course, you would think with the longer stick, accuracy is more difficult. And the attack man's twigs, which look about half the length, that was a missed pass right there. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Pinkerton ball. They play it back to the goaltender, and he'll sling it downfield. He's out on the sideline, and it's Pinkerton now with the missed pass, and BG back on the attack. Sloppy play there by the Astros that they could have ill afford. They need to get the ball upfield and back in the hands of Druin and their offense to get back in this game. It's 4-1 with exactly a minute to go. Good defensive work. We have a whistle though, and what's going to happen there? There's a flag on the field. And it appears that once again, Pinkerton's going to be shorthanded with 5 defenders against 6 offensive players. And it was number 11 on defense, it appeared. Declan Turner that got penalized there. So Turner kneeling down in the penalty area. 48 seconds left to go, and BG with a golden opportunity to go up 5-1 here before the end of the first quarter. Just now 40 seconds away. Up top it comes. Number 1 for the Cardinals is Connor Bouvier. Bouvier, a shot way over the net. from the near side. Did not find its way into the goal. We do have away numbers and home numbers. Let me check that. I'm trying to get 22 and 45 for you. BG shot. That was ended up being a pass to the player behind the net. Michael Kiley looking for the hat trick. Save is made and able to hang on to it at the far post as the buzzer sounds to end the first quarter. And fans applauding the action for Bishop Guertin. The home fans really liked what they saw, of course. Curtis Michaud, though, with some nice saves in goal for Pinkerton. Really, the score could be higher, which the Bishop Guertin Cardinals may talk about or may think about as we go into the break for the second quarter. Before the second quarter, the Pinkerton goaltender keeping the score relatively low. It could have been easily 7-1, maybe more, and evidenced by that last save that Curtis Michaud made for the Astros on a difficult shot down low from Michael Kiley. It was definitely on goal and a bid for a hat trick for number 3 for the Cardinals, but not able to get it by the talented goaltender in red. So the Astros are trying to regroup. I'm sure this is a novel experience for them to score just 1 goal in a quarter. They came into this game having defeated Salem twice and Bedford once already this season by a combined score of 46-9. So that's a lot of goals if you average it out over 4 quarters, 3 games. That would be 15 a game, a little more than 15 a game. Yeah, and in 4 quarters, you're talking at least 3 goals a quarter. Yeah, so that is about 3, maybe 4 goals a quarter, and they just scored 1, and I'm sure that might be their lowest output. They're hoping for the season. We'll see what happens, though, in the rest of this game. It has been a lonely occupation for the most part, being the goaltender for the Bishop Guertin boys lacrosse team during that first quarter, except for 1 visit from a Hunter Drouin, which produced a goal for the Astros. Other than that, they were shut out. At the time of possession, lopsided in favor of the host Bishop Guertin Cardinals. There's a clean win for BG off the faceoff. They're trying to produce a chance right away. Instead, they'll back it out to the corner and play some perimeter passing. Number 2, Declan Wilkie had a touch behind the goal. And Michael Kiley, that pest as far as Pinkerton is concerned, lurking near the front of the goal. Back to full strength defensively are the Astros. All kinds of traffic in front of the goaltender, but produces a loose ball. Some tenacious defense by the Astros, and they're able to come away with the loose ball, trying to produce the first goal of the quarter. Near sideline being escorted out of bounds just about. Andy McDonald of Pinkerton loses it, and BG is back on the attack in the slot. Top corner, I was going to say the face-off circle. There's no ice hockey face-off circle, but that's about where he shot it from and misses. It will be BG retaining possession, however. And it was one of your goal scorers, the aforementioned number 45 for BG, who we do not have on the roster. Up top it goes. He has a goal, and so does Kiley with 2, and Alex Dunsmore with 1. That's a total of 4. Hunter Drouin with the goal for Pinkerton. Up top. Cardinals trying to launch. Goal! A ripper. Looked like number 16 for BG. That's Tim Kiley, gets on the scoreboard along with his older brother. Wow, that was artfully done from the very high center slot. A ripper of a shot by Tim Kiley, who was on the move at the time. That is not easy to do. And he hit his target as we saw the net billow in response to that shot up in the upper quadrant of the net. 5-1, Bishop Guertin leads here at Stellos on this Tuesday night, April 20th game of 2021. Maybe you can't see it from distance, but all these players are masked up. Pandemic is not yet considered over, although we are in the midst of mass vaccinations. Just a matter of historical fact for anybody who might be watching this 10 years from now. These kids had to endure not your ordinary high school experience. A lot of them had to do Zoom classes. Bishop Guertin, of course, a school that calls their own shots as a private institution, and they had in-person learning throughout. We know that Nathan Lane of Nashua High North basketball fame, he transferred in order to do in-person learning rather than the Zoom classes that the Nashua public schools did as a precautionary move. And I did see a student representative on the National School Board talking about it, that coming to an end. Shot and a goal! Another ripper, just too much velocity there for the besieged Pinkerton goaltender, Curtis Michaud. He could not stop it. And we'll be getting some names to go with these numbers at halftime. Numbers 22 and 45 doing a lot of the ball handling and shooting for BG. And certainly number 45 for the Cardinals has a terrific shot that the Pinkerton goaltender could not stop. It is a 6-1 advantage. BG continuing to win these draws, which is leading to offensive zone time and opportunities. Once again, the win for Bishop Guertin's James Murphy, and he sprints it down the field and hands it off. Well done. Declan Wilkie, near side. Wilkie gets it back. Sprinting from out behind the goal. Shot from a really tough angle. Michaud with the save. Slashing down at the ball. Trying to prevent the BG attack man Murphy from picking it up. A steal is made by the Cardinals. Murphy at the side of the net. Tried the one-time pass to the middle, but it was deflected away. We've seen a couple of fine defensive plays from number 31 of Pinkerton on defense. Tony Samiotis stopped that threat. So a couple of players stealing the ball for their teams, and that produces some Pinkerton offensive zone time. Hunter Drowan with a rare touch in this game. He scored one goal in his other chance. He shoots this one from a difficult angle as he's checked down to the ground, and it was right on goal, but the save was made. Zach Connerty squaring up and making the save. Not a lot on that shot by Drowan. Certainly the accuracy was there, but it was a difficult goal try since he was being checked away from the goal. Didn't really get to plant and fire. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first half here at Stellos. And BG seemingly owning the ball through the first half of play, up 6-1. Score actually feels like it should be more lopsided than that, considering all the draws that BG has had, all the power play man advantages they have had. The flags have gone against Pinkerton as well in their desperation to play defense effectively. Great snag out from behind the goal. Save made by Michaud. He scoops it up. BG just keeping the pressure on with these shots on goal. And again, Michaud, the reason why BG doesn't have double-digit scoring right now. 6-1 the score. As we just crossed over the 7-minute mark left in the first half. And what else is new? We look to our right, and the Cardinals on the attack. Great spin move in the middle. Shot, goal! Oh, that was beautifully done. And I think that's the hat trick for Michael Kiley. Or was it number 7? Number 2, excuse me. Tim has it. Number 2 for Bishop Guertin. Declan Wilkie. He was in heavy traffic right in front of the goaltender, Curtis Michaud, and he took a couple of hits. Spun as he absorbed them and then zipped one from above his head past the goaltender. Too uptight, close to react in time. And it is a 7-1 advantage for the Cardinals. Timeout down on the field. The Astros want to talk things over here. Talented teams here. New Hampshire High School boys lacrosse are doing battle in April and May, and we'll check if I can find the standings as they look right now. Certainly Pinkerton was right up top with their record to this point. They had outscored Salem Bedford in 3 games, 46-9 and 103. But they have really run into it here in the persons of the Bishop Guertin boys lacrosse team. They do look strong, and especially on these face-offs, the draw at the middle of the field, the all-important face-offs that we were Tom and I were talking about before the game, how it can change the complexion of the game entirely if you're not able to win your share of draws. And certainly BG has dominated with James Murphy on the attack on these draws. Tom, as you said, the key part of the game, the draw, and James Murphy's excelled at it for BG. Now he seems to have a little trouble here, but he wins it again in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the specialty.
So down the field they go, and at first it looked like the teams might be evenly matched, but those face-offs.
Times of possession. Look at the time of possession.
Dominant, yeah, for BG.
Absolutely dominant. Plus, I think BG's defense. Well, let's watch this play develop.
In front, quick shot and a save by Curtis Michaud. Not an easy save again. He is the reason the Astros have not allowed double digits as yet. He's made a lot of saves.
Here's the thing. When Pinkerton has had the ball back in the BG end, in the BG offensive end, they haven't been able to clear it. Guertin's doing a good job of hemming them in.
Yep.
And so, even when Guertin turns it over,
John Sullivan is just sprinting down the field with the ball. I thought he was going to shoot it.
The speed of this game is unbelievable. It's one of the faster games between these two teams that I've seen. Usually there's a lot of contact and a lot of, posturing and battling for the ball at midfield and everything else. Not today.
Tom, I'm going to have to go down at halftime and find out, put some names to a couple of numbers here, namely number 45 for Bishop Guertin. He's got 2 goals, and he's a great shooter. I mean, he can really fling it. Also number 22 with a lot of touches for the Cardinals. Don't have those 2 players listed with their numbers on the roster that I have in front of me. I don't know if you do have that, but
no, I have the same one you do.
Okay, yeah. And unfortunate because they are key players on this BG team.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
To the left. A shot, missed the goal, but it's going to still be BG possession.
But you see the accuracy of the shot. We talked about this a few years ago, with, how accurate shooting really helps in this game.
Yeah.
And what it is also quick shooting. And most of the Guertin shots look to be on the low side, John. They're firing low. Not too many high shots. When we've done some of the girls' games, we've seen a lot of high shots.
Yeah.
But in this game today, or tonight, they are firing it low.
Michael Kiley with 2 goals, and I assume it was his younger brother Tim with 1. There's a shot from distance. I think that was.
I think BG would like to get some shots that are a little bit in tighter.
Yeah, but some of those shots, I assume they're brothers. Just great
Kiley's,
accuracy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, try to backhand it. So Pinkerton now will get the ball, and every Pinkerton possession you hear a cheer from the crowd because they don't have much to cheer about in this game. This has been a quick quarter. There's 4:09 left in the quarter, and it's all been down at this end.
Yeah, we've been looking right.
Yeah.
Heavy hits over the
It hasn't been as much as I thought there would be.
Right. There's a feed in front, and it looks like BG's going to have this ball.
Yeah, whoever's closer to it when it goes out gets the possession. And so here come the Cardinals. They've got it again with 3:50 to play in the first half.
Ball control. Well done by BG all half, and they're continuing. Sullivan gaining all kinds of territory. He'll take it all the way down, about even with the goal line, and then a bobble. And Sammy Otis has been really good turnover on defense. Number 31 feeds it to the goaltender. Keeps a wary eye on the BG attackers, and a nice feed up the middle. Hunter Druin trying to go the distance. The most talented player for Pinkerton, trying to pull his team up by their bootstraps here. He's making the long run, feeds it in the front, and then they're not able to convert.
And again, you know why they're not able to convert?
Prescott awaiting that pass.
You know why they're not able to convert? Because there's no rhythm. They haven't been able to get into any kind of rhythm because they haven't possessed the ball enough, John.
It's true. BG has kept them off balance.
Right. So passes get missed.
Liam Prescott, who was on the receiving end of that, seemed to be stumbling a little bit, and might have been an easy slam dunk if he had received it, but instead BG's back on offense here with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the half, up 7-1. Pick their spot for their next shot.
These two teams will play again in Derry on Thursday.
2 days from now.
Yeah.
Tim Kiley, who has scored from this spot on the field before, look for him to shoot. Goal!
And that time Kiley went high.
And another flag against Pinkerton. That means there'll be no face-off. It'll be BG's ball.
Exactly, but another move, but that shot went high.
That seems to be Tim Kiley's specialty. He scored in the upper part of the net before on a dead sprint. He's able to rip a shot with accuracy. That is not easy to do. And it's 8-1. Bishop Guertin is on top, and they will have possession in the offensive zone because of that hit, I believe, that was taken on the goal scorer. They're getting set up to do a face-off here, but I understood that wasn't going to happen from that flag.
Nope, they'll face it off.
They are facing off. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe they just put a player in the penalty box.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, number 31 is Sammy Otis. He's kneeling down.
Yep.
I think that's the indication that it'll be a defensive shorthanded situation for the Astros.
Although he should be
They win the draw, though.
He should be over to the right.
So that was a key
between
face-off
the blue
win.
and the yellow line. He should be to the right.
A rare loss of the face-off by Murphy.
Yes.
And it was the Astros' number 8, Cole Frank, that managed to win that ball, and much needed. Pinkerton dancing around through the double team sandwich was Liam Prescott, and it's a clean win of the ball for the Cardinals.
Bigger team and more physical this year, it looks like, than Pinkerton. And there aren't many years where you can say that.
Right. And BG gains more than half the field quickly. Timeout taken by BG with possession and a minute and a half to go.
Right, that's exactly what Chris Cameron's going to want to do. He's going to want to set up the play, probably keep possession as long as he can for that minute and a half.
Yeah.
and see what happens. But don't forget that this has been an interesting thing, because if you win the regular season game, it used to be, well, they play each other twice this year. In other years, they'd only play once. And if you won the regular season game, it meant you lost in the title game. And Guertin had won the regular season game I think the last 2 times, and boom, out. It was a streak that was going there for a while, where whoever won that game was not going to win the rematch. But they play each other twice this year, but this is different. This is a different feel. This is a more dominant feel for Guertin.
Yeah.
And the other team that will be, I don't know if they're on the schedule or not, would be Exeter, and that's the other team that would have a shot.
I feel like one of the players that we didn't have the number named for is Chris Heitmiller. I feel like I've said that name before. Past years. And maybe either Ryan Scanlon or John Krikorian.
Why, there are no numbers attached?
Yeah, there's a couple of players with no numbers, but down on the field we've seen a couple of players with numbers 45 and 22 who were key players in the dominant time of possession that we saw, and also scoring goals.
You this back?
I'd like to get it back.
Oh, okay, hold on. All right.
I heard you needed one, though, no?
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of it. You got another roster.
Oh,
huh?
Nice.
I just want it back at the end of the night.
Okay.
Score.
Well, they didn't take long, did they?
Connor Beauvier, sophomore. And that shooting accuracy is there in spades for the Cardinals. They just can't miss, it seems. Either it's a goal or a great save by Michaud. Very few missed shots. 9-1. Bishop Guertin is leading with 1:19 to go in the first half.
45, John, is Brady Dumont.
Thank you. Brady Dumont has had a great first half.
And who's the other number you did not have?
22.
Krikorian.
John Krikorian.
Yep.
Also a great first half. Huge contributors to this 9-1 advantage that BG has. And you thought maybe they play for the last shot. Well,
no.
It's still not even a minute, not even to the minute mark, and they have the ball again. And they're threatening to go up 10-1 before halftime. Aiden Lorendo is taken away by Pinkerton. Loose ball. Nope. Guertin wins the loose ball off the turf again. Another element to winning lacrosse, winning those loose ball battles. Behind the net it goes, and off the stick of the intended recipient, out of bounds, Aiden Lorendo. Receiving it of a tough pass.
And see,
there's a loose ball. The Astros have it.
Yep, Guertin could not scoop it up. It looked like they would pick it up, and they weren't able to.
Middle. 3 players take a body shot at the ball carrier, and knocked to the turf was Michael Uber.
It's a tightly refereed game. It seems like that whenever there's contact, there's a call, which I don't think should be the case.
Uber hit the deck, and what we have? 1 minute penalty against number 7 for BG.
Yeah, Aiden Ahern.
Aiden Ahern.
So the Astros will have it. 25 seconds left. Try to get on the board. Try to see if they can get it in the hands of Druin.
Pinkerton.
Yep,
being fairly cautious here.
Well,
only 10 seconds remaining.
They don't want Guertin to get the ball again, so they want to wind the clock down. Now they got to move in.
Now they're too far away.
Yeah,
it's
they're
only
too far
4 seconds
away.
left.
It's a bad setup.
And Sullivan, a tough defender, in
it's
face.
It's going to run out without a shot.
Oh, that's a
That
pity.
is not a good play. Wow.
No.
That is interesting.
Just give it to Druin and let him shoot one.
My goodness. Had a chance to do it. Give it to Druin and let him do some stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Instead, they just basically kill off their remaining chance in the first half. So we go to the virtual locker rooms here at Stellos. A 9-1 lead for Bishop Guertin over the team that's right now atop the NHIAA Boys New Hampshire Lacrosse standings at 3-0 going in. John Collins with Tom King. We'll take a break. It's halftime here at Stellos. Let's see if Pinkerton can mount a comeback. BG leads 9-1.
I've been vaccinated because I want to keep our entire Nashua community safe.
To help protect my family and friends.
Because it's the first step for our community to go back to normal life.
Because I didn't want to bring sickness to my family.
Because it's time to get the fans back in the stands.
For the safety of us and the members of our church.
Because we needed change.
I got vaccinated for you.
And I got vaccinated for you. So roll up your sleeve, Nashua, and let's get vaccinated.
The Nashua International Sculpture Symposium wants kids of all ages to help us fold 1,000 paper cranes so that we can hang them in Nashua this summer. Starting April 22nd, origami piece crane kits will be available for pickup at the Picker Artists Building in the Nashua Mill Yard.
These origami cranes are also sculptures. They are little paper sculptures.
Welcome back, everybody, to the action at Stellos Stadium in Nashua. We are approaching the second half of action between the host Bishop Guertin Cardinals and the visiting Pinkerton Academy Astros. New Hampshire High School boys lacrosse, these two teams coming in here undefeated. It was a thought that maybe it would be an evenly matched pairing, but Bishop Guertin just with a dominant performance as far as time of possession and shot making, and they are up 9-1 as we get set for play in the second half. John Collins along with Tom King, a game that is being also seen live on the Bishop Guertin live stream on YouTube as well as on Nashua ETV. And our friend Jamie Staten of New Hampshire's WMUR Channel 9 recording the highlights also for broadcast on his nightly sportscast tonight on Channel 9. So welcome Jamie Staten.
You could pick out the best Guertin shot and use that and a couple, maybe one or two more, and that'll fill the 20 seconds that maybe he needs.
Yeah, and he's got a few candidates.
Yeah, no kidding.
The Kiley brothers have scored a pair each of really nice goals. And also Mr. John Krikorian and number 45, as Tom found out, Brady Dumont, a freshman attacker. He has got a great shot. Look for more from him.
Yes, and that's the recipient of my roster. That's who gave me his father gave me his roster.
Brady Dumont. No wonder.
Yes, exactly.
He probably heard me begging to find out who is that kid.
And said, please mention my kid if you can do that. I said,
absolutely,
okay, no problem.
That's an easy mention. John Sullivan shot, and he missed.
Yeah, he went low that time, and then it was a rising shot. Good job by Pinkerton to stop it, but the Cardinals will still have possession. As we look to our left again, John, as we did in the first quarter.
Yeah, we are, Tom. I was mentioning how Zach Connerty, the sophomore goalie for BG, really fills up the frame. He's a big kid. On the other hand, not so big. Curtis Michaud, number 24, but he's been talented in goal. He's stopped a lot of tough shots. BG have gotten 9 past him, but they've had about 18 shots on goal. Roughly. In tight, goal. Nicely done in close quarters. Almost unchecked, though. Nick McGovern, the senior midfielder, closes in and from point-blank range gets BG to double digits, 10-1, just a minute and 7 into this third quarter. So this is amounting to a learning experience from beginning to end for this Pinkerton team, Tom. After they dispatched Salem twice and also beat Bedford by a combined score in those 3 games of 46-9, averaging about 3 to 4 goals a quarter.
Yeah, talking to Brian O'Reilly before the game, he mentioned that he felt that Bishop Guertin had a decided advantage. That Pinkerton is as good as it gets with all the other teams until you compare them to this team.
So our friend Nathan Kane is out there, Tom, huh? Number 14.
Just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Nathan Kane is going to. I think Nathan Kane's basketball career may be over, or at least his organized career, because he is going to Northeastern.
Okay.
And
you can try it as a walk-on.
He may. I don't know if that's the case. I'd have to find out.
In front and taking a spill. A flag flies high, hitting the deck for. Let's see, I have.
It was numero uno.
Yeah, it was, and that would be attacker Hunter Druin.
That's Druin. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
He bounces back to his feet, although.
You could see that in the first half. I didn't have to. When I was told he was the best player on the team, I didn't have to look to see what his number was, because you could tell. One had the ball most of the time, and too many men on the field.
It's almost like he called 2 penalties there.
Yeah.
One on the hit and one on too many men on
the field.
And I do see, I think, 2 players kneeling, indicating.
Yes, they are. Yep.
It's a 6-on-4 situation for.
And Chris Cameron turned around and told his team, "You got to clean this up."
30 seconds of 6-on-4 for the Astros, a must-score situation.
Yeah, basically, if they want to stay in this, find some way to because this game is getting out of hand. It's looking like a lot of the games that Pinkerton plays against the other teams when they're ahead in this situation.
Right. It's unfamiliar for
unfamiliar territory.
Yeah. They circle the goal. Trying to get it to Druin. Nearly a steal there by one of the 4 defenders.
Watch that clock.
Behind the net it goes. That's Mason Barboni, number 6. Up top. Shot. Goal!
Score. There it is. A low shot.
Number 17 is Riley Spellman, an accurate shot from distance, and it's the 2nd goal of the game for the Astros. Capitalizing on that 2-man advantage. So unlike, I think, ice hockey where you get 1 man back, I think they get them both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So 10-2 is the score. Lots of action, 2.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Both teams have scored. And BG with yet another face-off win for James Murphy. So good at that. JJ Murphy, he goes by, junior, and he is listed on our beautifully laminated rosters as face-off as his position, Tom. Although you do see him sprint downfield and get involved in some of the play. He is coming off now. He changes positions with Nick McGovern.
And now the Cardinals will set up. But look at the sideline. Look at the sideline and the number of players.
Yeah, BG dominant in numbers.
Yeah.
Long stick defender penetrating there was Aiden Ahern, but he gets turned away by a double team.
Yeah, double team, but he almost slipped through. Almost.
Chris Heitmiller with it.
Does the right thing and sets it up from the top again. Restart, reset.
Nick McGovern absorbing a few.
You see how different this game is, though, from the girls' version. I mean, fans at home can certainly see that.
Michael Kiley.
There's a shot score. Yep, right from that side. Goalie had to make a switch, and the shot was very quick.
Declan Wilkie's got at least 2 goals in this game. And from the wing position, lets it fly. It sounded like he got a little bit of the pipe on the way in. Just a sniper's goal there for Guertin. Once again, too tough to stop. And it's 11-2.
Is it ever?
Scramble at midfield. Fighting for that loose ball. Well done by Pinkerton to win the draw. Player gets checked to the turf, though, and still Astros managed to come away with it.
With their rare face-off possessions.
Yeah, Riley Spellman off of the win by Cole Frank, number 8, taking the draw for Pinkerton. Spellman took the fruits of Frank's labor downfield, and it's an offensive zone possession for the Astros. One of the rare few they've had tonight. Trailing 11-2 with just over 7.5 minutes to go. Third quarter, the catch and shoot.
Oh, nice save.
Save is made.
The rebound and a score.
And a goal. Was it? Yes, it is. The official
Yep.
rules. I guess the ball might have bounced out quickly, but he saw it go over the end line. The goaltender for BG, there's a new goalie in
Yeah,
there.
they've got 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah.
John, as they rotate. He makes the initial stop, but the key word is stop. You know, he stopped playing and then did not get in position for the rebound because the ball got loose.
Yeah, Dylan Stewart, a victim of the bouncing ball there in goal for the Cardinals, as Pinkerton got a few chances in deep and made the most of that. So it's an 11-3 game, 8 goals separating the two teams. A glimmer of hope for the Astros for the moment.
Well, they haven't been able to put a run on.
Right.
You know, they need to, you know, they lost that faceoff right there. They need to put a run on to be able to, you know, get that streak going of 4 or 5 goals, which teams do in lacrosse.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened for them. It's happened for BG, but not for the Astros. It was 2-0, then it was 2-1, and then BG went on a stretch of 8 unanswered goals. And that's an ill-timed shot.
Declan Wilkie bidding for the hat trick with that shot. A difficult degree of difficulty, very high on that. But still BG's possession. And with it is number 32, Aiden Lorendo. Lorendo looking for a teammate out front. Instead, it does find its way up top.
Woodley was picked off for a second there, but no.
Connor Bouvier was on the receiving end, number 1. Stripped of his stick and checked in the back. Alexander Dunsmore doesn't draw a foul, though. It's cleanly won, according to the officials. It's Pinkerton ball, trying to cut down the deficit further. 11-3 the score. Declan Wilkie marking the ball handler closely, and he just throws it into space. And unfortunately for the Astros, that's not going to get them a shot. Not going to do it. John Sullivan will say thank you very much and hand it off. Actually, Sullivan gets it now from his teammate. And nicely down the field for Connor Guibard, number 34. Guibard going wide, bearing in. All kinds of laundry.
Exactly. All over the place.
And it's,
1, 2, 3 flags, I thought.
Yeah, this is going to set up a power play, I believe, for the Cardinals. They're ready for it, too, as the personnel shuttles onto the field. And we'll count the defenders. And the foul is against number 5 for the Astros. That's Kiyoshi Dustin that'll kneel down, and it is a 2, 3, 6 on 5 situation. At least the next 30 seconds. BG trying to capitalize yet again.
Right there. Just off. He was going for the near side. If he'd gone for the far side, he might have had a far corner, upper corner. He might have had it.
Yeah, we got a good look at the angle there that John Krikorian was shooting from, and he missed badly to the left for him. I haven't seen too many wild misses like that by the Cardinals. Good run down the field by number 31, Tony Samiotis for Pinkerton, who's done his best on defense to try to stem the tide of BG goals.
And Guertin got back. They were a little slow getting back, but they got back to cut down his angle, and he had to stop and force things to go outside. And that's a big thing. You know why? Because Pinkerton needs goals, and needs goals quickly because the clock is not in their favor. 4:59 left in the third quarter, but there's really only 16 minutes left in the game. 16 and a half.
And they need a bushel, a passel,
a
load of goals to get back in this game.
They need to put in about 3 or 4 to get Guertin nervous.
And here on the run, the Astros.
It's a big possession for them right here.
Spin move. Top. Thinking about the shot.
Yeah, he was.
Joey Gallo, number 14, but thought better of it and passes it off of a pick. Looking to shoot.
Right
in
there.
tight. Goal.
Got it. That's a good play.
A determined number 17, Riley Spellman, with goal number 4 for the Astros.
Spellman made the dodge with his stick and then put his stick underneath and was able to just kind of get by the defender and find an opening and shot it low.
So the Astros might be thinking that we need more of that, and maybe they're overrating the BG's, the tightness of the BG defense a little bit. That did look like it was repeatable. But we'll see. First you have to win the draw, and the Astros do.
Yeah, there it is. Things are going their way for a little bit.
Cole Frank coming up with some face-off wins.
Yeah.
And here come the Astros. Down the field they go. Number 9.
And this is fast right here.
Kyle Zern.
This is fast, but a big shot and a save, I believe, right?
Yep, and BG right down the other side of the field with the sprint, with possession. Putting the brakes on.
And just like that was a big possession for Pinkerton, those 2 possessions, this is used for Guertin. They need a goal.
Coming from out behind the goal, but not able to get a free shot.
You know, it's tough to say that in an 11-4 game, but they need to reestablish that momentum. They've only had 2 goals in this period. Actually, what, 3? No, 2.
It was 9-1, yeah.
9-1 at half. So they've only had
actually,
2.
Pinkerton has the advantage.
Pinkerton has done a good job in this period. This period has been a little different.
3-2 advantage right now for Pinkerton in the period. Doing the dance is Tim Kiley. He's got a couple goals in this game. Mike Kiley fires and goes wide to the right.
Too anxious.
Yeah.
Too anxious, although they've scored a lot of goals from distance. Guertin still has it. You notice in the boys' version, you don't get many wraparounds. We've seen a lot of those in the girls. There's a shot, it hit the top of the bar.
Ripping one was Nick McGovern, and it was just a few inches too high.
It hit the top of the bar, if I heard the sound correctly.
Skimmed the bar on its way into the hedges, retrieved by BG as it's still their ball. Pinkerton needs a turnover. Dropping it in front, shot, and it might have been a save by Michaud. It looked like it was right on net from
Either way,
Pinkerton.
that's a give and go, and it should be a goal. And now look at this, Pinkerton gets the ball back, and they have it.
They're fighting for it.
And now they lose it.
That's skill right there in space, just snagging it for BG Aiden.
And the Astros will get retained possession, and
whistles all galore here.
Guertin on the defensive.
There's a little dispute going on between the Pinkerton coach and the officials, Tom.
He's been after them. Steve Gaudreau, former St. Anselm coach, Pinkerton alum, former Pinkerton assistant. I'm sure handpicked by Brian O'Reilly to take the job. He has been there. This is his first season as their head coach. Last year would have been. Now he's doing it this year. They're going to take a shot right here, I think. Nope. Good defense by Guertin. It's a good battle.
There goes a wild flag. Yeah, it's going to go against the Cardinals.
Yeah, maybe a stick on the back. I'm not sure.
I think to the face. And maybe in defensive, the player that got flagged, the attacker just turned around at the wrong time. He took a stick off the mask, I think, and that's when the flag flew. These lacrosse officials, they are taught to throw the flag really high so that you see it.
Right.
Some of these look like they go at a light stanchion level, though. Go up like flares. And there's another flag, one. And a shot goes over the net somehow.
And that's big. The missed shot is big.
Yeah. Riley Spellman with a golden opportunity.
If they score, they can get to 11-5 and then have probably 2-man up situations.
Yes.
A 2-man, to be up 2 men.
Yeah, Riley Spellman.
There's 2 flags on that play. Let's see who's kneeling here. 9 and 3? Not sure. So they're both in the box, 30 seconds.
Each for holding.
Right, but now look at this. It's going to be a 6-on-4.
6-on-4 for Pinkerton as they seek their 5th goal to cut the deficit to 6. Score right now 11-4. Druin shot, save, cleanly made.
Big save right there. Oh, the turnover. You don't want the turnovers.
Dylan Stewart with the save of the game for him so far since coming in here in the second half. Pinkerton back on the attack, trailing 11-4.
Yeah, and the key is attack. That's what Pinkerton needs to do. They need to attack.
Just a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Pinkerton has won this quarter.
BG's gotten their full strength back. Pinkerton still with the ball. Spellman shot, another great save by Stewart. That was labeled as well. Downfield it goes, loose ball, who's going to get it? Fought for in front of the Pinkerton goal, and it's still loose. Whistle, infraction against the Cardinals. Pinkerton ball, 37 seconds left to go, third quarter. Pinkerton Astros in red and BG in their home
They
whites.
have turned things around a little bit.
Yeah. It's not a lopsided game anymore as far as time of possession and et cetera.
Right, in terms of time of possession. And if they had taken advantage of a couple of those opportunities, they could have really closed the gap. And look at this, very physical right here.
Yeah.
And if that ball had rolled a little bit further, that would have ticked the clock down another 4 seconds.
3 seconds. Now, can they get the shot away? They do, and Stewart's made 3 big saves.
He has made 3 big saves, and that'll do it. Probably. Let's see.
I would think so. Can they get one shot away in 3 seconds?
The clock isn't moving.
They're going to restart it.
Yeah, they restart it.
2 seconds. In front, loose ball.
Nobody there, then
buzzer.
That'll do it. So, it's now a much more competitive game.
Yes. So in the end, it is a 3-2 quarter in favor of Pinkerton, but they will be thinking about those 3 big saves that Dylan Stewart made, the senior goaltender coming into the third quarter to frustrate the Pinkerton attack and keep them at arm's length. The Astros trailing by 7 as we enter the fourth quarter. And by the standards of scoring in this one, Pinkerton struggling to put points on the board. To rip off a 7-goal quarter seems unlikely at this point.
It does, but
stranger things have happened.
In the sport of lacrosse, it can happen.
Yeah. They do seem to have been figuring some things out as they go along here. Almost like, what's the machine learning? That's a new thing where the machine teaches itself by playing a game over and over how to get better. Yeah. I watched a documentary called AlphaGo the other night. I guess it's an ancient board game that I had never heard about. I heard about chess, of course, but this thing's older than chess. AlphaGo, play Go. There's more pieces.
You have a lot of time on your hands, don't you?
I do, but it just was a fascinating thing where this company built a supercomputer. It was sort of like Kasparov versus the computer in chess times 2 with this Lidon Yi, I think his name was. He's from Korea, just a brilliant Go player, and he won 1 out of the 5 games, and it was considered a huge triumph. But I recommend it here on the education station to watch. AlphaGo is a documentary that came out just a couple of years ago about man versus machine.
So, John, while I have you here, you're the big soccer guy. What's your thought on that Super League stuff that's going on over in Europe with the
I must have been watching too much AlphaGo because I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? You don't know what I'm talking about?
I got to catch up.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, there's a big...
Are they combining a couple of those leagues?
There's about 12 teams like Liverpool and some of the big Euro teams. They want to form their own league. And the other... diplomats are getting involved in this.
The one that
John Henry owns, and the one that
Ronaldo's on, and
there's a lot of them. There's
Messi's on.
They're threatening to ban him from World Cup and everything. All those players from World Cup and everything else. Go look it up. You get a chance, look it up. It's been a big story for the last 3 days.
I know there's an insane amount of money when you're talking about those teams.
It's kind of like if you take college, right? Let's see what happens here with Pinkerton. If you take college, you take the top 12 teams in college football, they all want to form their own league and leave their conferences.
Yeah.
It's that type of thing. It's that type of thing if maybe 12 teams in the NFL want to break away and form their own.
Pinkerton picking up where they left off in the third quarter, winning a draw, but getting frustrated again on offense, not able to capitalize as yet, trailing 11-4.
But you said the key words, winning the draw, and that's something that the Astros have been able to do in this third quarter, and now we're in the fourth.
Producing more chances. Cole Frank has been battling James Murphy in that center circle for over 3 quarters now, and it seems like Cole Frank has picked up a few things.
He must have, on his knees.
Goal, the putback.
Stewart on his knees and reached for the ball and couldn't reach it, and the putback is a goal.
The Phil Esposito position for number 14, Joey Gallo, midfielder in the right spot in the middle at the right time, and that is the 5th goal of the game for the Astros, and things are getting just a little bit uncomfortable right now for Guertin. Leading by 6 with 11 minutes to go, and the all-important draw front and central here. Our cameraman Tim O'Neill tonight on Nashua TV, capturing the pictures and capturing the ball, James Murphy, as he breaks the streak of the Astros.
That's a big draw. They needed to win one, but now they've got to put one in. They haven't scored since early in the third quarter.
And as Tom talked about the face-off specialist, Murphy sprints off the field, and Nick McGovern takes his spot up front. And Nick McGovern has it right now as he hands it off. Number 11 is Chris Heitmiller in the middle, or behind the goal, I should say. Trying to circle out front. Krikorian is pushed aside. Shot, goal, a great feed. That was our man, Brady Dumont, the freshman attacker, and what a great shot he has. He's got a hat trick.
And
Brady Dumont.
In my mind, the biggest goal of the game.
Because that takes the wind out of the sails of the Pinkerton comeback.
Well, it makes it tougher.
Yes, a lot tougher. 10:25 to go in the contest, and it is back to a 7-goal advantage.
Right, because they were making, Pinkerton has made it interesting. But here we go with the draws.
Cole Frank battling James Murphy. They're still battling. Oh, this is really tough.
This is an intense one.
And Murphy finds a way to pry the ball loose.
Yeah, he pries it loose, but does anyone pick it up?
Yes, the Astros do. And a good job of sprinting out of traffic by Ryan Spellman as he flings it on the run to his wingman.
And ground balls, John, is an individual stat that he's kept. You will see that in college stats.
They should.
If you take a look, you'll see it.
Declan Turner was the guy that Spellman flung it to, and now Pinkerton catching their breath. Joey Gallo with it for the Astros, working on Michael Kiley. Kiley sticks him a few times. Outside's goal! What a shot on the run by Joey Gallo.
You didn't expect it, and Stewart didn't either.
Yeah, Stewart, who's got a lot of fine saves in this one, just got burned low there on a terrific shot by Joey Gallo on a dead run to his right. 12-6, 9.5 minutes to go. Astros back in the goal column.
See, look, if they get 4 in a row, they're within 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2.
The Astros, who were held to 1 goal in the first half, have scored 5 here in the second half through, less than 15 minutes of play after scoring 1 through the first 24. BG wins another draw. John Sullivan with that long stick of his. He chokes up on it as he runs down the right sideline and sets up shop. Some valuable time will be taken off the clock here as Sullivan retains possession and feeds a ball up top. Good job of corralling the bouncer by Nick McGovern. BG going to work up top, far side. Spin move, Aiden Ahern feeds it back. And with it again is Nick McGovern. Fakes to his right, backs away. Good defense being played by Pinkerton here, making life difficult. Actually, Kiley's going to shoot it, and it looks like he missed to the left.
And it was sitting there and no one realized it, and now they're all battling for it, and the Astros have possession. 8:35 to play.
It looked like a defender behind the goal deliberately blocked that ball from going out of bounds in order to
it is sitting still on the yellow line.
Yeah, take possession away.
Right.
Because that goes out of bounds back line. BG's closest to it.
Right, exactly.
And they retain possession. Instead, the Astros sprinting downfield.
But again, the best play was Gallo's quick shot because it was quick. That's the key word right now with 8:06 to play for Pinkerton. They need goals, but they need them quickly.
In the corner, Pinkerton.
Don't.
Under 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Spin move out front, and it is received by Druin, but he runs into
He
traffic.
Passed it into traffic. Druin took the pass in traffic, and here come the Cardinals with a flip.
Trying to get in shooting position, shielding the.
Oh, right there, he's got a
goal.
shot. Yep, right there, he moved right in.
Aiden Ahern with some nifty moves in close quarters. Produces results 13-6. BG leads Pinkerton. Not much that Curtis Michaud could do at all with.
Not at all, because
Ahern right on
Ahern
top
had the
of him.
good move, and when all of a sudden he had a clear lane to be able to take that shot. And my, I would say the temperature right now is about 15 degrees colder than it was at the start of this game, maybe a little bit more.
See, I would have to look this answer up in the Lacrosse rule book, but I imagine it's illegal to leave the ball in your stick and just jam the stick into the net as is without shooting it.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, the thought occurred to me that that's something that Ahern could have actually done there. That's how close on top of the goaltender he was. But he just flicked it in.
And here's a win for Pinkerton with the draw. So the Astros still trying to hang tough. Now see, Guertin wins that draw, and they come down. They score another goal. It's an 8-goal game with under 7 to play, and it wouldn't be feasible.
Yeah. Alexander Dunsmore trying to make life difficult, but still, even with Dunsmore with the heavy checking, Pinkerton able to get the shot away. I believe that was number 25. Yes, for the Astros coming up with the goal. That's Michael Uber. Not an easy goal to score as he kind of threw it over the defender.
But what did
and
he
past
do,
the goalie.
John? He did it quickly.
Yeah.
They're taking shots, and what Pinkerton's doing a good job is they're not telegraphing them. They're letting them go quickly.
You get the thought that maybe Pinkerton is going to make this close, but just run out of time. They have cut it to 6 again, trying to win that draw, and Sullivan with that long stick, good in the ground balls, comes away with it. And he got, pushed out of bounds? Timeout, BG.
Timeout, BG, and that's a good call.
Yeah,
a good
why
timeout
not?
for Chris Cameron with 6:44 to play in a 6-goal game. Pinkerton's
Reset, recalibrate.
You know, Pinkerton's too good to walk out of here losing a game like 20-3 or something like that.
Right.
Too good to do that.
So these two teams have a lot to think about, to strategize about for the next 2 days. They're going to meet on Thursday. We're Tuesday night here. They're going to meet on Thursday this week in Derry at Pinkerton.
Yes, but it'll be a different meeting than they've used to when they've played in Derry in the past, because I believe Pinkerton now has the same stuff we're looking at. They have field turf, where before they didn't. That game was always a different game on grass.
Oh, I remember, yeah. So they installed the field turf?
I believe they did.
And they'll have their own fans
You guys
there.
have field turf, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lights too, right? Yeah,
And their own fans.
Yes. Well, they got plenty of them here too.
Yeah, that's true. Cheering, though, will be probably a little bit louder for the Astros in that game, especially if they can pick up where they left off here. It's been a much closer second half, certainly, than the first half.
But those games on grass,
9-1, now 13-7.
in drizzle and mud and things like that, were a much different game. Trying to pick up the ground balls and everything else. It was more of a possession, physical game than the track meet that we're kind of watching here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will say Pinkerton still with the advantage as we look at the scoreboard. It was 9-1 at half, and now it's 13-7. So in the first half, BG with the 9-1 advantage, and to this point, Pinkerton with a 6-4 advantage here in the second half, but BG gets to kill some valuable time here. 6:30 left.
Well, that's the question. Do they kill time or do they go for the kill? And that's the mistake right there you don't want to make when you stall like that. That's not what they were looking for.
Nifty moves to the middle. Not to the turf, ball loose, and a flag flies. And Tom talked about a lot of this contact being whistled.
Yeah, it is.
As we see it again. What's the infraction here?
Going to be against Guertin,
Hit a player with his head
right?
down, maybe? I don't know. Definitely stumbling to the turf as he was hit. It was Andy McDonald, number 22, and BG was off to the races with that loose ball scooped up, but instead Pinkerton with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 5 advantage. We see number 3 for Guertin in the penalty box is Michael Kiley. Must have put that lick on McDonald. So opportunity knocks for Pinkerton once again with 6:18 to go, trailing by 6 goals, a key possession, a chance to cut the deficit to 5 for the first time since the first quarter. I think when they...
But it was 6-1.
6-1, yeah. It hasn't been that close since.
2-1 was the closest.
And thinking about the shot.
But the thing is score quick.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They can't let this... And there's a... Oh, I thought they were going to take it right in that corner.
Spellman has the ability.
Right.
As he feeds it to Jackson Morissette.
And they're doing this without relying heavily on Druin.
Inside and tight. Yeah, where's Druin? He's not gotten a touch yet on this.
No, not much.
To the top of the screen. Actually, I don't think he's up there at the moment. There he is. He's actually, Pinkerton just turns it over without a shot. Disappointing.
That's not what they were looking for either.
Yeah, Druin was out there. He just didn't get a lot of touches.
I want the ball in Druin's stick.
So
now Pinkerton's going to try to do everything they can to keep Guertin from getting over the half line, and they do it.
Cardinals too tough, too big for the
yeah, but right now,
defenders.
What do? Do you slow it down, or you go for the shot? And I think they're going to play a normal situation here and go for the score. It's worked for them all game. They got away from it, pulled everything out the last possession. This time they're going to go on the attack. Just don't want to shoot too quick. Make sure you get a clear shot if you're BG.
Shot, and it goes over everybody. We have BG ball still.
Yeah. So BG retains possession. 4:51 to play.
High velocity shot there that didn't find the back of the net. Nick McGovern hands it off to doing 11 is Christopher Heitmiller. McGovern. Near side, wide open, goal!
Oh, wide open.
You cannot leave the freshman.
No.
Brady Dumont alone.
No.
Four goals in the game for number 45 for BG. Deadly accuracy. High velocity. 14-7. A 7-goal lead again for the Cardinals. So Pinkerton got a sniff of a comeback, but that may be all. 4:24 to go, and back to this mano-a-mano contest at midfield between Cole Frank and James Murphy, and it is the Astros that come away with it this time. Ryan Spellman sprinting wide side, bearing in, shot, goal. Spellman on the feed from Cole Frank, and Frank gets another assist for winning the draw to one of his key attackmen, and it is another quick goal for Pinkerton. Still a 6-goal deficit. Up 14-8 are the Cardinals. Whatever the tactic is that Cole Frank switched to in the second half, it's worked a lot more, and he kicks at it. We got a hold against the Astros. I guess some subtlety in the hand-to-hand combat there, and infraction committed by Pinkerton. John Sullivan, who's so good at just those long strides.
But with 3:56 left, the Cardinals will gladly trade goals.
Right. In the corner and behind the net, John Krikorian. All the way around the perimeter, being marked by Kyle Zern, number 9. Look out.
Oh, great grab.
Dumont
used his stick and just grabbed it.
Yep. Tim Kiley gets bodied away. Near side. Pinkerton not making life easy for BG, but they've taken more valuable time off the clock, going on a full minute in this possession, it seems like. And back to the top of the set.
Ooh, a pass that was errant.
And the officials call it
Pinkerton ball.
Pinkerton ball.
Yep. Looked like he was going to try a shot, but instead he changed his mind midway through and said, I'll pass it instead. But with 2:52 left, there's not the panic that there might normally be if this was like the third quarter and it was a
So Hunter Druin trying to go 100 yards here, Tom.
Yeah,
and he gets
He gets a strip right there. Yeah, you're right.
Declan Wilkie took it away.
Number 2. Is that Wilkie, number 2? Is he number 2? Yeah, that's what I thought.
In the corner, and a key play is more minutes, more seconds come off the clock, leading to minutes. And BG comfortably ahead now with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, up by 6. Really, they won this game in the first half by taking that 9-1 lead into the locker room.
Did. Yep.
Krikorian, long pass, accurate pass. Michael Kiley being forced wide. Whistle blows. I'm not sure if it was a timeout or officials.
Not a timeout. It's an official's timeout for whatever reason.
Yeah. Kiley being shifty in the corner. And he draws a couple defenders and dumps it off.
Yep, and the clock has worked against the Astros. They gave it a shot.
Yeah, now BG's just playing keep away.
Yeah, Guertin can now do what they were trying to start to do with 6 minutes left, which is basically stall. Just kind of run around and take this win.
Taking the hits and still going is Christopher Heitmiller.
Yeah, you want to do is you don't want to turn the ball over. Keep that ball in your stick. Make sure if you pass it and see that's not the pass you want to make.
Heitmiller kind of just ran out of gas after holding it for 30 seconds. And
a big ground ball pickup right there by the Cardinals.
Yeah, sure was. Just letting the playmakers make a play.
They're just going to run it out. 54 seconds left to play in the game.
So under a minute, and just about a mathematical possibility for Pinkerton to do anything here with it as far as the comeback. They're just trying to make the score look better at the end. Under 40 seconds to go as the ball goes behind the Guertin goal. Preview of what's to come on Thursday night. Bishop Guertin against Pinkerton.
They'll be playing at 5:30 in Derry. We, on the other hand, will be here at Stellos.
Yeah. On what Tom promises will be a wintry cold night.
Yes, it will
in
be.
Derry.
Yeah, a wintry cold night in Nashua.
Yeah, in Boston even, I guess.
High.
Yeah. So 17 seconds to go.
We'll be here for the girls' game, and that'll be a big matchup because that's the.
Hopefully they put the heater away here at Stello Stadium. Shot never makes its way through traffic, and players hit the deck as
this is where you don't want to get anybody hurt.
Yeah, with 5 seconds left in a 6-goal
yeah.
game, no way. So that'll do it, Tom. It was pretty exciting, boys lacrosse. The BG shows some dominance.
Yep, 14-8 Guertin, some dominance, and then Pinkerton showed some spunk. You got best of both sides. All right, John Collins.
Tom King, thank you. Our cameraman's been Tim O'Neill. Thank our Bishop Guertin YouTube viewers for joining us as well here on NHIAA TV. Final score, Bishop Guertin 14, Pinkerton 8. A regular season victory for the Cardinals as the season marches on with a rematch coming up on Thursday. Good night from Stellos Stadium, everybody.